The radar operator sees it first, not one contact. Not 5, 17 separate contacts? Bearing 315 incoming, speed consistent with Shaite 136 one-way attack drones. He keys his radio immediately, incoming 17 contacts. Bearing 315, impact estimated 4 minutes. Al-Asad Air Base goes to full alert in under 30 seconds, Western Iraq. Al-Asad Air Base, home to approximately 2,000 US and coalition personnel. 147 hours local time. Iran has been watching this base for years. It was hit before January 2020, 16 ballistic missiles. No American deaths that night, but 110 personnel suffered traumatic brain injuries. Iran called it revenge for the killing of Qasem Soleimani. They called it even. They were wrong about the second part. And tonight they are making the same calculation again, that they can hit Al-Asad and walk away. They are about to find out how wrong that calculation is. Let us build the picture from the beginning, because what Iran launched that night was not a single attack. It was a coordinated multi-layer strike designed to overwhelm Al-Assad's defenses simultaneously. Layer 1, 17 Shaite 136 one-way attack drones. Launched from western Iran and from IRGC proxy positions inside Iraq itself. Flying low, slow, difficult to detect at long range because of their small radar cross-section and low-altitude flight profile, their job is not necessarily to hit the target. Their job is to saturate the defense. Force the Patriot batteries to expend interceptors. Force the radar operators to track 17 simultaneous contacts. Create confusion and gaps in the defensive picture. Layer 2, 4 Fata 110 short-range ballistic missiles. Launched from inside Iran. Faster than the drones. Arriving approximately 90 seconds after the drone wave. Designed to hit while the defense is focused on 17 drone tracks. Designed to exploit whatever gap the drone saturation has created. Layer 3, 6 Shaite 131 smaller drones. Slower than the 136 variant. Approaching from a different bearing. From the south, designed to come in behind the primary wave. Hit anything the first 2 layers missed. 27 separate incoming weapons from 3 different directions. 3 different speeds. 3 different arrival times. It is a sophisticated attack plan. It has one problem. Al-Asad is not the same base it was in 2020. After the 2020 attack, the US military made a decision: never again. The defensive posture at every major base in Iraq was fundamentally redesigned. Patriot batteries upgraded to PAC-3 configuration. The most capable version of the Patriot missile. Designed specifically to intercept both ballistic missiles and slower flying targets like drones. Counter UAV systems installed across the base perimeter. The Coyote interceptor drone. Launched from a tube, guided by radar, designed to destroy incoming drones by ramming them. Cheap to produce. Effective against the Shaite-class threats. Electronic warfare systems installed that can jam the GPS and data link signals that guide precision drones. And overhead always, at least one E-3 Sentry AWACS aircraft providing long-range radar coverage of every approach corridor to every US base in Iraq. The AWACS had been tracking the Iranian launch preparations for 11 minutes before the first drone crossed the Iraqi border. Al-Asad knew they were coming before they arrived. At 0143 hours, 4 minutes before impact, the base commander activates all defensive systems simultaneously. The Patriot battery radar goes to full power. All 17 drone contacts locked immediately. The 4 ballistic missile contacts detected at longer range, already being tracked by the Spur satellite system overhead. The Coyote counter-drone systems spin up. 12 Coyote interceptors loaded and ready. Electronic warfare systems begin jamming on the frequencies the Shaite drones use for navigation update. 3 of the 17 drones immediately begin deviating from their flight paths. Their GPS guidance is being spoofed. Told they are somewhere they are not. They turn away from the base, into empty desert. 3 down before a single interceptor is fired. The Patriot engages the remaining 14 drones and 4 ballistic missiles simultaneously. PAC-3 interceptors launch in sequence. Each one assigned a target by the Patriot fire control system automatically. The system does not wait for human input on individual intercept assignments. It calculates, it assigns, it fires. The radar tracks every outgoing interceptor and every incoming threat simultaneously, updating the intercept geometry 40 times per second. The first intercept happens at 22 kilometers from the base perimeter. A PAC-3 hits a Shaite 136 drone head-on. The fireball is visible from the base. The second intercept happens 4 seconds later, then a third. Then 2 simultaneously. The sky northwest of Al-Asad fills with intercept fireballs. The Coyote systems engage the drones that have gotten closer. Inside the Patriot engagement envelope minimum range. The gap between what the Patriot can engage and the base perimeter is covered by the Coyotes. 12 Coyotes launch. 9 of them find targets. The 4 ballistic missiles are engaged by the Patriot in their terminal phase, diving at hypersonic speed toward the base. The PAC-3 interceptors meet them above the base. All 4 intercepts successful. Debris fields from the destroyed missiles fall outside the base perimeter. The 6 Southern approach drones from Layer 3 encounter the electronic warfare jamming first. 4 of them deviate immediately. 2 continue. The Coyote system engages both. Both destroyed before reaching the perimeter fence. Total time from first intercept to last threat destroyed, 4 minutes and 11 seconds, 27 incoming weapons. 0 penetrated the base perimeter. 0 U.S. personnel casualties. But that is only half of what happened that night. Because while the defensive systems were working, something else was already in motion. The F-35s. 4 F-35As assigned to Al-Asad had been at 5-minute alert status since the WACS first detected Iranian launch preparations 40 minutes before the attack. Not because anyone knew the attack was coming at exactly 0147, because U.S. intelligence had been tracking elevated IRGC activity at 3 launch sites in western Iran for 6 hours. The pattern was consistent with pre-launch activity. The F-35s were ready. When the first incoming contact appeared on the WACS display, the pilots were already strapped in, engines running, weapons armed. 30 seconds after the base commander confirmed the attack was underway, the tower gave clearance. All 4 F-35s were airborne before the first drone was intercepted. The AWACS had been tracking the launch sites throughout the entire engagement. The Shate launchers were still at their positions, mobile platforms, truck-mounted. Some inside Iran, some inside Iraq, operated by IRGC proxy forces. The ones inside Iraq were the priority targets. Operating inside Iraqi territory made them a legitimate immediate response target under existing rules of engagement. The 2 F-35s assigned to the Iraqi-based launchers had their targeting data updated continuously by the AWACS during the 4-minute defensive engagement. By the time the last incoming drone was destroyed, both F-35s were already on their attack runs. The first launcher was destroyed at 0153 hours, 6 minutes after the attack on Al-Asad began. A GBU-39 small-diameter bomb delivered from 40,000 feet. The launcher crew had not yet left the site. The second launcher was destroyed at 0156 hours, same weapon, same result. 2 proxy launch sites inside Iraq that Iran had used to attack a US base were gone before the debris from the last intercepted ballistic missile had finished falling. The response to the Iranian launchers inside Iran was a different decision. Striking inside Iranian territory requires a higher authorization level. It requires a presidential finding. It requires diplomatic notification sequences. It takes longer. But it does not require forever. At 0340 hours, less than 2 hours after the attack on Al-Asad, 4 Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from USS Gravely in the Persian Gulf. The targets were the 3 launch sites inside Iran that had fired the ballistic missiles at the base. Each site had been continuously monitored since the launches. The crews were still present at 2 of the sites conducting post-launch procedures. The third site had vehicles still parked at the launch positions. 4 Tomahawks, 3 sites, all 4 found their targets. The 2 sites with personnel present recorded casualties. The third site's vehicles and launch equipment were destroyed. At 0412 hours, CENTCOM released a 2-paragraph statement. United States forces successfully defended Al-Asad Air Base against a coordinated Iranian drone and ballistic missile attack this evening. All incoming threats were intercepted. There were no U.S. casualties. U.S. forces subsequently struck the launch sites responsible for the attack. 2 paragraphs. No drama. The entire sequence of events compressed into 8 sentences. Iran's response came the following morning. State media described the attack on Al-Asad as a successful precision operation against an illegal American military presence. They described the U.S. counterstrikes against their launch sites as cowardly aggression against Iranian sovereignty. They made no mention of the intercept numbers. Made no mention of 0 U.S. casualties. Made no mention of the destroyed proxy launchers inside Iraq within 6 minutes of the attack. The domestic narrative required a victory. The facts did not provide one, so the facts were simply not mentioned. But in the IRGC Aerospace Force Command structure, the facts were being discussed at length. 27 weapons launched. 0 reaching target. 2 proxy launch sites inside Iraq destroyed within 6 minutes. 3 launch sites inside Iran struck by Tomahawks within 2 hours. The multi-layer attack doctrine that Iran had developed specifically to overwhelm American-based defenses had been tested under real conditions. Against the upgraded PAC-3 Patriot, against the Coyote counter-drone system, against electronic warfare jamming, against F-35s at 5-minute alert, against a targeting infrastructure that had identified their launch sites before they even launched. The doctrine had failed comprehensively. Here is the strategic lesson that every IRGC planner took from that night. The gap between Iranian attack capability and American defensive capability at major bases in the region is not closing. It is widening. The Shahed drone is effective against targets that have no dedicated defense, commercial ships, oil infrastructure, lightly defended positions. Against a fully equipped U.S. military base with Patriot, Coyote, electronic warfare, and F-35s on alert, the Shahed drone is an expensive way to demonstrate that your attack was intercepted. The ballistic missile threat faces the same problem. PAC-3 intercepts ballistic missiles in terminal phase with a success rate that has improved with every software update. Combined with the longer-range SM-3 interceptors on naval vessels in the Gulf, Iran's ballistic missiles face a layered defense they have not been able to saturate. Not in Yemen, where the Houthis have tried the same tactics. Not in Iraq, where Iran tried it directly. The math keeps coming up the same way. Al-Asad Air Base is operational tonight, the flight line is active. The Patriot batteries are at full readiness. The Coyote tubes are reloaded. The F-35s are at 5-minute alert. And the EWACS overhead is watching every road, every launch site, every suspicious vehicle movement within 300 miles. Iran challenged this base. Iran found out what this base actually is. The next challenge will find the same answer. Stay locked in.